Much love and respect. Thank you for tuning in to D.A.P. Much love, much love, much love, much love. What's good with you? What's good with you? What's good with you? Much love, much love. You see the topic, man. The topic says basically some black women, I'm sorry, some black men, that is, says that black women don't treat them like white women. They say that some, I said, black men feel that white women treat them better. Please do me the favor and share, like the page. Do you feel the same? Or do you feel like ain't no way that black women don't treat black men good? Now, I got a black woman. She treats me great, I must say. So I put up a status earlier that said a brother by the name of Chris Harris. Chris Harris said that black men are treated much better by white women. Okay? It actually went like this. Chris Harris said, as a black man, white women just treat us way better than I had to even cough off that one. Treat us way better than black women. All right. Again, Chris Harris said, as a black man, white women just treat us way better than black women. All right. And I just said, I don't know about that. What y'all think? You know, what's your thoughts? And out of nowhere, one of the first persons or people who responded to that was an actual black woman. And her words was this. Do me a favor, go ahead and chime in, like the page and all that good stuff. If you hear it, you can hear me, go ahead and do me the favor and put a one in the chat if you can hear me so I can go on. All right, do put a one in the chat so I can go on. Much love and respect to each and every last one of you. Yep. So that's the topic. Some black men say white women treats black men better. So I'm gonna wait for a minute before I get into it. And while we do that, do me a favor and go ahead and make sure you press like. The algorithm get going and get people attention on the post. All right, and don't forget to support the Supreme Sunshine Shea Butter. That butter though, that butter. Oh yeah. So what do you think? I don't know if you guys seen the flyer, but yeah, that's the topic, man. I want to just show you the flyer real quick. Let me share this for you. Um, and evidently, some black men feel like that. And my question was on that post is, do they have a valid opinion? Some people said, a few people said that's his opinion, and that's his right. But some people were saying that's a lie. Let me just read some of the things that were said. But I want to share the page with you first. I mean, share this flyer with you first. Okay, okay. Where is my? Here we go. No, that's not it. That's not it. Boom. Everything is different here. Let's see. Again, the topic is, You can read the topic on the status real quick for you, for those that's here. I was just trying to grab something real quick. Here it is. Okay. Bang. Let's see. This is the topic. This is the topic. All right. So some black men say white women treat them better, better than the black woman. That's what it said. Excuse the little typo. I forgot to put the N in better than. Peace and blessings. Good afternoon, y'all. Good afternoon. I only got about maybe 20 minutes. If you can go ahead and like the page, I appreciate it. And if you can hear me, please press 1 in the chat that you hear me. I really appreciate that. Thank you for chiming in. Much love and respect. Damn. Deep discussion. Deep discussion. So go ahead and chime in with me. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I need a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I appreciate it. If you're here, YouTube, Facebook, 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the 1. So again, a few comments I'm going to grab to share with you regarding this topic. All right. So the first question or the first statement or the comment that came about was a black woman in the comments. For those just chiming in, once again, black man Harris, Chris Harris said that white women treat black men better than black women. The first response, she said, these narratives are crazy. I reject them. If you want to date white women, don't use black women as an excuse. I'm so over it. Okay. She had a valid point. She felt that she's tired of that conversation and hearing those narratives. Narratives like, they're more kinder, they're more respectful and things of that nature. And with that statement, I want to say to the young lady who made that statement, Adele was good. Much love and respect. Thank you for always chiming into these conversations. And some of these conversations are really hard conversations, you know what I mean? And we do that over here on D.A.P. That's how we do it. So I want to respond to Adele, and my response to Adele, what's good with you, Mr. Henderson? What's good, man? Peace and blessings, brother. Good to see you here, bro. Yeah, so that's the topic. My response to her was this. So, and I don't think she answered that question. Let me see. She did answer it. Oh, okay, cool. She did answer it. I said, okay, I just used it as a scenario, not saying that women are rotten, but I'm saying to you, as an example, and don't change the narrative that I'm trying to give, because some people always do that. But here's my statement. I said, if you went to Costco's and every time you went to Costco's, the produce that was there was rotten. Every time you pick something up, some of it was good, and then you have this whole bunch of rotten area. You know what I mean? And you've been going for 10 years, right? Every time you go there, there's rotten produce. You go home, you cut it out, and you keep it moving. All right? And you keep telling the owners, the management there, that your produce is always rotten and I'm getting tired of it. You expressing your sentiment, you're expressing how you feel about the produce. All right. And you keep telling them, if you don't, change this, I got to go elsewhere. I've been rocking with you for a minute. You know what I mean? So now here's the 10th year. All right. Then you decide, you know what? Stuff still rotten. I'm going down here to the Indian village, to the Indian market, where I see them out there with those, with the produce out there and everything making it happen. So you stop over there and you find that their produce is always fresh. And any day that you went there, the produce was fresh. So you was really happy about that. So my question is to Adele, um, do you continue to go to Costco's, or do you switch up and say, you know what? I'm going to keep coming to this Indian market to get my fresh produce. Why was my scenario that way? Okay. Her answer to that statement was, so you calling black women rotten? Well, Adele, say for instance, the black man that spoke on this, which is Chris Harris, say he is the consumer, and you are basically who he's trying to consume. You know what I mean? He's asking you for this or that. He want this or he want that as a consumer. Wouldn't you say that the man or the black man is the consumer? Because you have, you are the woman who he's trying to, how can I say? I can't say buy, but if you put it on a dating market level, yeah, it is buy. You know what I mean? If you put it on the market itself, as far as dating is concerned, he's looking to, choose you. So would you say, is it right to say that whatever he's asking for as the consumer, shouldn't you give him what he want or like? If you're looking to, how can I say it? I don't know, marry him or date him or give him, like the Costco's would give that particular item to the consumer. Would you say he is right in his wanting this? I'm just asking. I'm in the middle. I'm trying to, be in the middle, because this young man mentioned this and said that, this is what he like, and he feel like this particular woman treats him better. All right. So what you say, Alberta? Peace and blessings. Much love and respect. That's their choice. I don't waste my energy on that, because, to be honest, that's what they think of the entire race. Like we rotten to the core. So at this point, everything looks better elsewhere. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good point. So I want to ask that same question to you, Alberta. If you're purchasing and been dealing with this particular store for so long, and every time you go there and you're asking for this and that, and they're not giving it to you, do you think you have a legitimate reason to go elsewhere? That's the question I want to put on the table. Now, there are a lot of beautiful black women, so I don't agree totally with the young man's statement. Once again, I'll read the statement again. And the reason why I don't agree with it, and most people don't agree, most men may not agree, because, let me say the statement he made. Chris Harris said, as a black man, white women just treat us much better than black women. And I said, I don't know about that, y'all. What's your thoughts? So the reason why I say I don't know about that, because I never experienced dealing with a white woman. That's one. I never had the experience of dealing with a white woman. Okay? Now, if that's the case, right? There was so many people saying things like, oh, that's a lie. Speaking about Chris Harris' statement, that's a lie. Another person said maybe because black women don't put up with that with men's shit. All right. Okay. That's a valid point. Maybe that those men tend to do a lot of shady crap, and black women ain't going for it. They're on that weak stuff where they're gonna go for any and everything that black men put out. And I agree with that. But then I asked that same person that said that, I asked that same person, so do you think black men give all black women bullshit all the time? And this is why they go to white 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 women? You think because they are not strong enough for black women, that's why they go to white women? So that's the question I put out to him. Oh, I don't know if that's her or he. But then they said, didn't say all that. So what are you saying? Are you saying there are men, all men out there that go to another nationality like a white woman? Are you saying that men, most men, go to white women because they can't get over with the bullshit that they usually get over with on black men, on black women? Is that the point you're making? I just want to be clear on that first. Okay? I want to be clear on that. So, Alberta, what are you saying? You saying yes, I do to what? I don't remember. Okay, your statement was that's the choice. I don't waste my time. Blah 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 blah. Writing to the core. Blah blah blah. Point everything up. Okay, are you saying what's going on, Tasha? Much love, respect. Thanks for chiming in, Tosh. So another person said, which was a good point as well. Somebody said that's bull crap. And then Alvin came in, and Alvin said, it's true. Alvin is a man. But so I asked him to explain himself for him to say it's true. So I said, okay, some of us never had that experience to even give that opinion. So Al, have you had an experience with both worlds? You know what I mean? Because some women say it's true, some men say it's true, some men and women say it's not true. So some say they have that's a false narrative. So I'm asking that brother or any other black man who had the experience dealing with white women, can you really say, because you had those experiences, that white women treat you better? Now, I would like to think that Chris Harris is coming from his perspective. And because some people might not like his opinion or his experience, because this evidently is his experience. It have to be. All right. So one woman said, I'm so sick of this old ass false narrative. This false narrative. So I asked her the same question. So what if Chris' experience is facts? Right? What if his experience is a fact? What if? What if his experience is a fact? Think about it. What if his narrative, what if it's not his narrative, but it's an actual fact? What if that's the case? That experience he had. Her answer was this: the only reason a man would say that, the only reason a man would say that, if he is trying to pull some, basically, trying some bullshit, and she wasn't having it and didn't like it. That's it. Bottom line, that's her perspective. That's her answer. And she felt like that's the only reason why men say that went on to the other side. Is that true, or is that a false narrative? All right. So I said I feel your point, but do you think every man feel like that? So you mean to tell me every man that had the experience of dealing with a white woman was about some bullshit? Now back to the rotten produce. So as Tara said, peace and blessings again, Tara. It may be his experience. That's all I was saying. So like I had somebody else on the podcast once before. I think Tara, you was here, and we were going in on that particular situation. And this young man, I forget his name, but he experienced this, and he experienced a different nationality, not white, but he was dealing with I think it was Indian women that he preferred, and he was trying to give his reasoning. You know what I mean? And there were a lot of women jumping on him. You know what I mean? Saying things like this. So again, back to the produce. If someone's constantly asking you for a certain service, I'm gonna put it in a service sense because we're talking about the dating market. Okay, so if you went to a market and where they have produce, the farmers market or whatever the case may be, and it's constantly not good, and you're asking for certain things that they don't have, you might want to go to another market that may have it. So that's all. That's the only reason why I put that in that scenario, Adele. So what do you think about that? So Alberta says, I know what we don't align ourselves with. I know what we don't align ourselves with. Okay. With the right individuals, and that could be some of the problem. And to that question, I agree. To changing the place I shop at, a business that will cater to your needs. Exactly. And that's why I had to sit back. Because once again, I was definitely, and I am, on the pro power to the people. You know what I mean? But because in this position of being a host, content creator, somebody that's been in the business of barbering for years, and I had to develop a skill of listening. And in listening, I had to listen to this perspective that I had no idea or know nothing about. Whereas this man was in it. He was actually in a situation where he was dealing with black women his whole life, and then turned around and said, you know what? I'm not getting what I want. Now, these are his words. And I'm getting very disrespected on a regular from this. So he went here and he said, whoa, it's different. Yeah, exactly. It's different. He said that they treats him much better. So we can't really knock his experience, can we? I don't know. I don't know. Again, as Alvin said, it's true. Tyrone said not all, but it's his opinion. So, Salam, what's good? Peace and blessings once again. I thank you for always chiming in too. I always appreciate your opinion, your analogy, Unique. Much love. She said no, because most often it's the men who try the women. Yes, some women are a trip, but it's but it's mostly the men. Okay, I got you. I got you. So at least you seen from some men's perspective. You know, I got to give you that. I got to give you a clap on that, because most people would automatically just write it off like, nah, it's always the men's fault. So, and that's why I asked you that question in that way, because, it's impossible to say that every man who went outside their race to deal with a woman, to date a different nationality, to marry a whole nother nationality, as far as a white woman is concerned, it's impossible to say that each and every last one of them men was up to some bullshit, or was trying to be shady, or trying to be tricky, or trying to, be, what they call it, cheating and stuff like that. It's impossible to say every last man was like that. Real talk. Yep. So to the women who think that way, I just want you to try to understand and look at the perspective from Chris's analogy. You know, just look at his perspective. Now, there was a very interesting comment that was made on this particular status. All right. And it was really deep. And I was really, it was interesting. And it's something to be studied. And we all have looked at a lot of this stuff, but never really, it's an uncomfortable conversation. This conversation is very uncomfortable for some, because you never know. You may have had people who are in relationships and they got up out of it and went to a white woman. You know what I mean? And we don't know how it may have affect that black woman or those black women till this day. You know what I mean? So this comment was really a good comment. And I applaud the young brother for this comment. All right. Let me find what he said. He said, he never experienced them, but he said that his friends who play in snow, there's definitely a different mentality and approach they have. Right. And he also said, exactly, a lot of our women were traumatized by their mothers. And that's why they behave the way they do. They're dealing with some deep rooted issues. So by the time they get to a man, they can't operate in that setting. They can't even be good friends, mothers either. But no one speaks about that, about what their moms did to them. Just blame men. When that's the least, when that's the least of their problems with interpersonal relationships at home, word, abroad, everywhere is crazy. Really good point to that, brothers. Yep, really good point. Another comment, Valerie said some black women are not putting up with the bullshit, and we personally don't give a damn. I don't know, it's something to look at. Going back to that store, you know, if you don't get what you want as a black woman, those who went outside their relationship or their race and got a black a white woman, I mean a white man or another nationality, period. You wasn't getting what you wanted from that brother for years. You wasn't getting the treatment that you like, that you know, that you wanted. You had a boundary about yourself and you wanted a certain type of treatment and you were never getting it from that brother. And you went outside. Some of you right now that might be watching, and you dealt with someone outside and you happy as hell because he's coming with another approach. He's coming with another energy. He's not coming from trauma bonding and stuff like that. He's not coming from the struggle mentality. You know what I mean? He may not be coming from all that. So you're treated in a whole different way and you're amazed at it. You feel me? So men can feel the same way. There's a possibility that men have, done the same thing. And all men are not just, no good at all. Come on, not all. You feel me? Yeah. So, Alberta, what you say? Alberta says, I will take it to another level. We will spend our money with other races before we open it with our own people. And the excuse is that we don't offer quality with our products. So that is somewhat in the same order. I agree. Okay, I agree. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yep, makes a lot of sense. Yep. Could you do me the favor and like the page? I appreciate it. Do me the favor and kindly like the page. Thank you so much. That helps the podcast. That helps. I appreciate it. 107 people have viewed this video already. All right. And there is 2 likes. It goes back to what I was saying, far as the views is concerned, on another podcast I was telling you guys about. Do me the favor and like the page. Thank you. So here was another comment on that same post. Some black men say white women treats black men better. All right. Another comment on that post. And this was you know, you tell me what you think. My man Brandon said he never learned to love himself. Crazy white woman don't even see color and wouldn't have the respect to see it in us. Let me see. Let me say that one more time. He never learned, talking about Chris Harris, never learned to love himself. Crazy white women don't even see color and wouldn't have the respect to see it in us. I don't know if CZ is crazy or what. I know YT is white, but I don't know what CZ mean. Maybe you are saying crazy. White women don't even see color. So I was like, I don't know. I can't put my finger on that particular statement, brother. You have to really give me some more. All right. He did say something to think about. You dig? I feel you, but you got to give me some more. All right. So another good statement from Lynette, which is a great statement, Lynette. Lynette said, It's not even about color, you know, it's about culture. And that's a fact. It's not about color, it's about culture. Some cultures raise their men to be husbands and their women to be wives. She said, I, like many black women, was not taught to be wives. Wow. Okay. I was taught to get a good job, pay the bills by myself, because depending on the man will have you effed up. Those women were taught differently as well as the men. Okay. Good point. Good point. My man Ezra said, oh, Chris Harris, he's a serial bunny hopper. So, yeah, that part. So, another person said, this dude made a post and said he married a white woman and all his stress went away. All his stress? Then he said that every brother that he met, basically those who dealt or dealing with or married white women, he said that every brother that he met said they stress went away and order was able to flow. And he was able to flow. He said every dude that went with a white woman that he knew said the exact same thing. Now, these are men who are experiencing different markets or different stores, different places where they are meeting women. So I asked him, did he sound believable or was he bullshit? Or do you think, he was just, or you think black women wasn't going for his bullshit? Was he the type of guy who was bullshitting? You know what I mean? Can you sense that in him? Was he that kind of bullshitted type of dude? I just wanted to hear from him on that. Another brother made a great point, man. He said this too. He said, a black woman in her true nature is divine and can't be touched by any other woman. If anybody want to call in, they could. If you want to call in and give your perspective on this, you can. All right. You can do that if you want to do that. You can call in. All right. That's the number right there. So he said, most black women, if they were in their divinity or if they was, in their divine nature, they can't be touched, all right, by nobody, by no other woman. So he said the issue is that they don't make them like they used to. There are many of black women today, they have become agents of white supremacy. Whoa. Breaking up homes for government subsidies, you know what I mean? Poverty, irresponsible breeding, and inadequate leadership. Unlike black men who can be characterized as a no good man, a deadbeat, right? A dog, a brokey, or he got his shit together. Black women are lumped together and many, regardless of their status, excuses that press or that piss poor behavior of others because they're in the same group. So if you're a man of substance, it's easier to date outside of your group because you don't have to view that group of representation as your only option. Great point. Great point, my man Rashid. If you want to call in, let me know you want to call in and you can do that. Yep. Let's see. Give me a minute, y'all. Give me a minute. Boom. Yeah, so this was an interesting topic, man. At first, some people went off the handle and was in their feelings about it. But when you sit back and think about it, when I kept asking that question, basically letting them know this is his experience. How are we going to tell him he lying about his experience? Now, how would we look telling you about your experience? If you dealt as a woman, dealt with a white man, right? Your experience is your experience. And here's another guy who says something like, he says, Chris Harris only in the bedroom, if at all. After that, what will have placed what after that she will have you placed in a hot kettle of oil, just like she did in Mandingo. Come on now. Come on now. Are we stretching it? Do y'all think she'll be in a big kettle of hot oil? Is he stretching it? Another comment. Remember, this is a topic about black men saying that, for those who just chiming in, white women treat black men better. And we're talking from a guy who may have literally experienced many black women and now experiencing white women. Okay? What y'all think? What y'all think? What y'all think? I want to thank you guys for chiming in. But if you want to go ahead and leave your comment on the comment board and express your perspective on this particular topic, you can go ahead and do so. I really appreciate your narrative on how you feel about this topic. This topic been going on for a long time. And I think when it first started, it fired up a lot of people. And I think that's changed now through the years. I think it's to the point where people saying date who the hell you want to date. But if your preference, your preference. You know what I mean? But I love my black woman. By the way, I love my black woman. You know what I mean? Real talk. What y'all think? What y'all think? Appreciate you guys chiming in. Do me the favor, like the page if you could. Very much appreciate it if you can do that. It means a lot if you can like the page, share the page. So I think that scenario about the Costco store produce, I think that's a good way of looking at it. If the man is constantly saying to you, this is what I like, this is what I want, this is how I feel, and I need this from you, and you're constantly not giving that, why would you be upset with him when he say, I got it now? Why would you be upset and mad with him if he say, I got it now? I got what I've been looking for. It's his experience, as Tasha said. Why would you be upset with his experience? Latanya, thank you for chiming in. I appreciate you, Latanya. Latanya said this. Let me just highlight it a little bit. Let's see. Bang. Bang. Okay. Latanya says this, and y'all see it at the bottom. She says, "Oh, I've heard black men say that's why they choose to date white women because they're more respectful." Hey, like the Costco's. The Costco's, had rotten fruit. I gave a scenario, by the way, Tanya. Costco's had rotten fruit, and then the person went to an Indian market because the fruit was fresher there, and she continued to go to the Indian market because they gave or produced what she wanted and needed. So I gave that scenario to show someone how to look at it from another angle of how why black men that have been in the market or the dating market of black women, which is their women that they love, and they try to make things happen. And lo and behold, they wasn't getting the fresh fruit. They was constantly getting rotten, energy, so to speak. And they moved on and went to a white woman and got exactly what they were looking for the whole entire time. All right. So that was the scenario I gave. And respect is one of them. I think respect, if the respect is not there to answer what's her name's question, Adele. Adele says, "Are you trying to say black women rotten?" Well, if the respect isn't there, which is one of the main things that men look for in a woman, he looks for respect more than love. And that's a fact. So if the respect isn't there, yes, she right. I said it. If the respect not there, she rotten to the core. That's a fact. Now, as far as, I guess men got tired of not having that respect. So therefore, these men that we're speaking of, you know, they went on the other side. And would you blame your son if he said, you know what? I'm not dating no more black woman, ma, dad, because every time I deal with them, I get this. But when I deal with this, I get that. So would you be upset with your son for dating someone who don't never ever give him respect? Wouldn't you want him to switch up if he kept getting the same results? I want to ask you that. Thank you for your comment, Miss Morgan. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Much love. Thank you for chiming in. Do me a favor and like the page. Do me a favor, like the page, Tosh. Do me a favor, like the page, Alberta. Please do me a favor and like the page. Albert, appreciate you. Much love. Yep. Wouldn't you want your son, your nephew, if he came to you and said, I like this kind of vegetable because this vegetable is constantly fresh, you know? It makes me feel good when I come in here and see the freshness of this particular vegetable. It's not rotten like the one over here at Costco's. You would probably say, you know what, son? Yeah, spend your money where you're going to get your money's worth. Spend your money where you're going to feel comfortable at. If you feel comfortable there, son, go ahead and spend your money there. Don't take your money over there no more. You're not getting what you need. You're not getting what you want. Right? Real talk. Put your comment on the comment board. Once again, do me the favor and like the page, share the page. I really, truly appreciate it. Yep. Let me give you another comment that someone made earlier. on this post. Arlinda. Now, some people, this is a very uncomfortable conversation for some. And we know that. We have seen all types of podcasts, all types of comments and statuses, all types of videos in the past. Now, this person just came on maybe half 45 minutes ago and said this. Mind you, the statement was um, black men get treated better by white women. So this person said his mama said his mama. Latanya, good point. As long as my son is happy, then guess what? I'm happy. I feel you. I feel you, Latanya. I'm not even mad at you for that. So, Latanya, what do you say to people who are angry? Not, I can't say angry. I should say a little uncomfortable or upset with the statement that this brother made, which is Chris. Chris said what he said. Maybe he, like I said, he's experienced some things, so maybe he just speaking on his experience. And another brother that came into the comment board named Alvin said, "It's true." So he must have had some experience as well. A person like myself can't even have an opinion on that because I never dated a white woman ever. So I can't say that a white woman treats you better than a black woman. And I don't even think that women can say that a white woman treat, or a woman can say that a black woman treats a black man better than a white woman. I can't even say, yeah, I can't even say they can say that. The only one can say that is the man. True? The only one that can really give you an assessment on that situation is the man. Yeah, real talk. Yeah. What you think? I mean, one person came in and said lies, just like that, and never experienced a man dealing with a white woman. If you know somebody in your family that may be dealing with a white woman, you can say, yeah, I think that's a true statement. Or you can say also, that's some bullshit, because that white woman ain't no good to my such and such relative. You know what I mean? So you can say that. So Jamar says this true. Only those who've experienced it can truly chime in. Yeah. And that's what I would love. I would love to hear a brother come in and say, yeah, bro, it's true. I've dated 15 women in my life. And I dated two white women in my life. And they both was great. I just decided to go with this one. I would love to hear your perspective on that. And I want to know why. You know what I mean? What was the reason and all that good stuff? Yeah. I would love to hear a black woman come in and say, yeah, I was dealing with Troy. And I know after me, he dealt with a few other black women. And after he dealt with us, you know, it was about five of us. And sure enough, Troy done married a white woman. And he ain't been back since. I've been trying to hook up with him here and there, but when he was dating her, he wasn't he wasn't going for it. He stayed with that white woman. You know what? He married her. I would love to hear that perspective of someone who actually experienced it, seen someone experience it. I would love to hear that. So if you hear, go ahead and chime in. I would love to see you chime in, as my man Jamar said. Jamar, You were the one who told me about the person who mentioned this. I would love for you to call in, my brother, if you could, and let me get some verbiage or some details on that particular situation that you heard from a friend or somebody that you knew who actually um, experienced dealing with a white woman. The number 973-433-5666. Let me find it for you, Jamal. Once again, the number is 973-433-5666. Where is the number? I'm trying to put it up for y'all. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Peace and blessings. Do me the favor, like the page, share the page. You see what it is. If you can like the page, I appreciate it because it helps the algorithm. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. Much love and respect. Where is... Okay, here's the number. Call in, Jamal, real quick if you could. Um, you can call in right now. The phone number is there. Let's see. Or you can just text. It's fine. Yep. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this topic, man? It's a really uncomfortable conversation that most don't want to have and don't. How they say it in the South, and don't. And don't. But it's a deep conversation. No problem. No problem. So Lynette is always dropping jewels. She's always dropping jewels. I like to hear her perspective as well. Um, Somebody had asked or dealt with one of Lynette's statements, which was, "It's not color, it's culture," and all that. You know what I mean? I was taught to pay the bills and all that good stuff, and don't wait on no man because waiting on the man is, um, you know, you'll be fucked and all that good stuff. But Malik responded to that and said, "I respect the statement. However, being raised in our culture shouldn't be a reason why we don't grow in our way of thinking. When it comes to our men, when it comes to our men and women and relationship goals, um, and how we interact with each other," he said, "just because mama and daddy did it, don't mean it was right. Reality is maybe it was right, maybe mama wasn't who she thought she was, and and the same with daddy." He said, "We knew our parents. We didn't know them romantically as husband and wife, and whoever controlled the narrative, controlled the minds of those around them. It didn't make it, or it didn't make them right." Um, Not yelling, but being in the military and traveling, I must say the energy is different. Women and some of our women, but I will say I love my sisters regardless. As soon as we realize we're not each other's enemy and realize we're all we got be accountable to self and others who live who lives we who lives we affect and heal and admit to our shortcomings. Okay, we'll be better as people. Sometimes we're not as good as we think we are as men and women. Some of us look good on the paper, but are a wreck on the inside. But I surely respect your expression. Again, the caps are used just to embellish the statement. I'm not coming for you. Again, I agree with your statement, just shared a different perspective. That's all right. He was responding to Lynette's point. Peace and blessings. Thanks for chiming in. Do me the favor, share the page if you can. I appreciate it. Lynette said, I agree. Many of us survive environment. Conversations are late. Hold on for 1 minute. Let's see. You got to call the number 551. Okay, here we go. Bang. Hold on for a minute, big bro. Let me see if I can hear you. Hold on. Let me put the headphones on first. Can you hear me, big bro? Hold on. Let me make sure they can hear you as well. I just got a phone call from my man, and let me see if I can make sure he get in here. And I want you guys to hear him as well. Bang, bang. Let's see. Archive. Okay. What you got on the topic, my brother? I remember you saying something on that status, and you were talking about a brother who told you something, and how did that affect you when you heard his statement?
It was crazy because, me and bro, we grew up together, whatever.
Right.
Hey, but I remember he always had, black chicks. It was what it was.
Right.
And then I remember we went out, and he like, nah, I told him to go to a certain spot, and he didn't want to go. And he like, I don't fuck with black girls no more. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, how you don't deal with black girls? That's
Right. Right.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
And he's telling me, because his mom, like, he's from the same cloth we are. So I'm like, what do you
Right.
mean by that? Like, it was forming. I'm God body. I'm like, I'm super pro black. I'm like, ain't no way in hell.
That's how I felt, bro, when I was talking to the old dude
So
with the
I'm like,
barber
I'm
shop.
flabbergasted. But
Right.
when he broke it down to me, I had to respect it because he wasn't lying. But it wasn't my lifestyle. It wasn't my circumstance. It was just like, damn. It wasn't until I got out the trap, out the streets, and when I got a job, I noticed that women do treat a working man totally different than a guy that's just living how whatever. It was like, and then I seen it. I seen guys complaining about their women, and it wasn't just a black thing. It was men in general.
Got it.
But being around, I never been around white girls and none of that shit. So when I go hang out with bro, when I see how them girls are moving and the whole environment, even not just white girls, black, white, put it like this, non-black girls. Just put it like this. And I'm all pro-black, but I'm saying to myself, like, it's a total different vibe. It's not black girls our women have a lot of trauma. A lot of trauma. And it has nothing to do with men. It comes from their mothers.
Right. See, by the way, you guys, this was the person who actually put that comment on the comment board that I read to you guys as far as trauma. Go ahead.
That shit comes from this has nothing to do with men. Because the head trigger reaction towards everything, if you know, like, I know friends that work in diapers. I know friends that work in certain, that energy is coming from a kid. Insecurities are not natural. You are taught these things. And the way our women react towards shit, it makes you think, like, where does shit come from? When we were kids, as boys, we process it different. We might go, man, whatever, because first you got a man around, it's different.
Right.
But to watch it and to be around other women and see, like, God damn, how the fuck, why our chicks don't react the way our chicks is ready to, like, they going crazy, and it's basic shit.
Right.
That shows you it's deeply rooted. It has nothing to do with men, because men are the last of the problem. That's the end of the road. That's just are we gonna blame them? Yeah, that's cool. You can say that. But to be so defensive towards everything, where does it come from? But when you look back where it come from their mama. Their mother
Wow.
the first one that called them ugly. They mother the first one that called them a bitch. They
Wow.
mother the first one that talks to them crazy. So when the man says, okay, if you're a man, you deal with a woman, you say, I want you to have natural hair, she gets triggered. Why? Because her mother said your hair was nasty from the door. That's why she permed it. So now when we said he wanted natural, that's a secondary response of, wait a minute, she said it was ugly the way it was. Now you saying you want it the way, now it's like, oh, and they react, they going crazy because we saying, I just want you to be who you are. It's not us. They don't want to say it because their mother became their friend. Mothers become peers with their children because they're not that far apart.
Wow.
So as us, when we say what we say, they blaming us, but no, it ain't got nothing to do with us. So the reason why guys are going outside the community is, like, I dealt with guys who make a lot, like, I hung around friends who make a lot of money, and they say, bro, it ain't got nothing to do with the girl per se. It's the mother, it's the grandmother, it's the aunt, it's the friend group. They all ruined, so they know that she's going to listen to them before she listens to him, and he go, you know what, I might as well just leave that whole vibe alone. And when you get around it, I see it. Now, not like I said, I never played in the snow, but I understand it. And I go, but I'm not going that way because I already know there's always, all women are top of the top.
Right.
There's nothing above them.
Right.
But all women don't understand why is the white black man the most hated? Because we are the original man. She's the original woman. But she comes from us.
Right.
We don't need her to make us. We can make us through any woman.
But listen,
they don't understand that.
Yeah,
so
but I
that's where the hate comes from.
I also heard a man say that wherever black men go, internationally, he's loved by all.
We are. That's where the hate comes from. Because if you say I can get a white girl, we run the game. We introduce women to the game. So when you women are not ever they get into the game free. So when we have a standard, that means disqualification begins. They never had to deal with this being disqualified until their character come into judgment. Until what a man really wants. If he wants something for real, now we are judging you not just because of your looks. Now you're disqualified. So when the character comes to judgment, now there's, y'all choosing out. The Russell Wilson guy that they say they want, they don't want Russell Wilson. They just want a sucker with money. Because most men are like Russell Wilson. Most men ain't in the street.
Wow.
That's a small minority of men in the street. I played the game. It ain't that many guys in the street. It's small. It's a small fraction. That's why us in the street can run through all the girls, because she only has that but so many to choose from. There's a million Russell Wilsons outside. They ain't a million Russell Wilsons that got money though.
That's
the difference. They don't want, bro. They listen. Most of us got friends of marriage-minded men that they can choose from, and they don't choose them. But they listen, bro. I never been to college, but I've been on college campuses all the time, running around.
No doubt.
Why are you calling me from the gutter to come up here? And you know my lifestyle because you cool with my lifestyle. It's not the guys, bro. They just don't want you to choose out because they don't want you to. It's like when a guy cheats, why she fight the girl? Because he's intimidated by the girl, but they project that we intimidated by women because the other girl could do the same shit she could do. Oh, you had sex with my man? It might have been better. They don't want you to choose the white girl, the Latin girl, the Asian girl because it might have been better.
Wow.
But it ain't. But we would prefer our women.
Word.
This is a new thing, bro. This is come on, we older. This is a new thing. Shit. This ain't nothing we want. Come on. This is a new thing. This is a reflection of your product must be so bad. I'm going to a worse store to get just something because to get from you, it ain't even worth it. Now that's bad.
That's deep.
Bad, and I'd rather eat takeout than home food because the home food ain't worth it no more.
That's a deep point, bro. That's a deep point. Thank you, man. I appreciate you calling in, brother. It means a lot, Jamal. I appreciate that. Much love, man. Appreciate you calling in.
I'm always on deck for you, bro.
No doubt. Thank you, brother. Please share and like the page, brother. I appreciate it.
Peace.
My man. Wow. Great analogy. So here's a brother from London. Straight out of London. This brother by the name of Jonathan. He said they actually do on an official level. Wow. Jonathan, please do me the favor if you could. If you can call in, man, I want to hear your perspective on this. I never dated a white woman. The brother just got off the phone, never dated a white woman. But he actually have friends who dated a white woman and they gave him their experience. I would love for you to call in, brother, if you could. The phone number is right there. I don't have long, but I'm about to get out of here. If you call in, that's fine. If you don't, I'm a bounce. But I would love to hear your perspective on this, bro. You know, please dial 1-973-433-5666. If you can, I appreciate it, bro. And for those who are here, you just heard from a brother who experienced other black men who dealt with and dealing with or married a white woman and gave them or him their experience. All right. So, to the women who said that's a lie, do you know anyone who experienced dealing with a white woman in your family right now, and a man that's dealing with a white woman right now as we speak and is married to, or dealing with them for quite some time? Let me hear that experience. All right, because I want to hear the experience of, is it true or not? I want to hear a black man come on here and say, "Oh hell no, nah, these they no they did worse," or whatever the case may be. Because some people said it's a lie. I would love to hear that. All right. So, Jonathan, do me the favor if you want to call in, or Joe Tanner. I think that's Joe Tanner, John Tanner, John Tanner. Give me your perspective on that from London. This is what he said. This is what Joe Tanner said. All right. He said they actually do on an official level. And he put the official in there. But to the black woman's credit, I truly believe that the black women are the number one woman on the earth. I think she has it all. She has everything it takes to be a wife, a mother, a sister, a friend. I think she encompasses all of that, especially when she has the right mindset, especially when she has spirituality, especially if she did come from what some of the brothers mentioned, which was trauma or upbringing or whatever the case may be. Um, if she did all of the healing and all of the work that it's supposed to take for her mind to be right, there is nothing that a black woman can't give a black man. And that's a fact. So, again, to the black woman's credit, you the bomb. You the bomb, man. You the bomb. Unfortunately, some men have had some experiences with the trauma kind of woman who've been through some stuff. Unfortunately, he may have gotten with someone like that and had bad experiences. And not just one, some had maybe a few experiences. And I just want to say to all of you who are on your way out into this dating world that's young, um, be careful, date with a purpose, date intentional. But there are a lot of great black women out here, man. We definitely got to give the black woman a chance. I don't want to spread the narrative that, you know, black women ain't no good at all, because that's a lie. But I don't think it's a lie about the experience that some men have had. That's their experience. You can't tell the person they are a liar when it comes to their own experience and when they express it to you. You're not them. You haven't dated outside of your race. You're not them. You feel me? So once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for chiming into DAP. I appreciate you all. Do me the favor, go over there on YouTube and press subscribe. Look, y'all, we growing a little bit. We growing slow, but we growing. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. All right, on DAP to get this perspective, man. You have been DAP. Much love and respect, peace and blessings. See you on the next one. DAP.